Bonjour, bonsoir, buenos dias, buenas noches. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about Basketball Wives. Definitely, if you're not yet part of the family, make sure that you go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on your post notifications, y'all. So last week was crazy with Brooke and Brittany Renner. So this week, Brooke, Jennifer, and Evelyn, they kind of meet up to talk about everything that went down last week with the two of them because Evelyn wasn't there. So Jennifer did mention that Clayanna, because I feel like that kind of like sparked everything, was Jennifer kind of asking Clayanna, like, who are you? I feel like that's where things started to go left, and then somehow it went from them to like Brittany and Brooke. So yeah, but Clayanna hit her up saying that she wanted to meet up. So hopefully they can make amends from there, you know, and go on to a better place. And Jennifer is still kind of like throwing jabs saying, but like, I just wanted to know, like, who are you? You know, you're just here in the mix of everything. And it's like, who are you? Are you somebody's side piece? Like, because no one knows you. I'm like, damn, Jennifer is like a bougie reader. You know what I mean? Like, she will read you, but she does it in like such a wannabe classy, sophisticated type of way, you know? But she's shady ass. You know what I'm saying? She really is. But I love it though. I love Jennifer's, like, she just brings like this certain, like, I don't know, it's something about her that I do like. Even though she's one of those people that'll throw the little rocks and hide their hands. But I do feel like for the most part, she seems to usually be very genuine or honest. You know, even though she's a reader, she's pretty honest with what she says. Jennifer, not Jennifer, it was actually Evelyn. And Evelyn said that she's scared of commitment. Like, so it seems like she has like commitment issues based on her last terrible relationships that she's had. The one with Carl ended in betrayal, and then she ended it there. The one prior to that was with Ocho Cinco, and we all know how that ended. Was like a tragic, epic fail, and that was actually a marriage that lasted only, a few weeks or something like that, and then tragedy struck. So, I mean, it's definitely understandable why someone would have a lot of trauma. I mean, people have gone through less than that, you know, just bad. I remember there was like a just terrible situation that I was in, and I definitely had a lot of trauma where I'm like, you know what, like, yeah, I don't want to do any of this. I am good on that. Like, just thinking about commitment just kind of gave me like anxiety, and I was just like, oh my God, like, you're trying to do what? Like, we're moving way too fast. Like, slow it down, pump the brakes. I am not trying to go in that route. You know what I mean? So, and it's definitely from past experience. So now you're scared because you're like, I don't want to have to go through this. We do this fairy tale fake stuff, and then all of a sudden I find out that it's all lies, and then I have to divorce you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's like kind of what it is. And she did say that more than once throughout the show, that was something that she didn't want to happen. She doesn't want to have to go through all of that again. So she's kind of like withdrawing now, she said, a little bit from Lavone, and she's kind of concerned that he won't be okay with it. But Brooke was like, if he has issues with it, then he's not for you. And I'm like, no, that could just mean, yeah, that does mean he's not for you, because obviously this is something that she needs, and this is something that he's not okay with. So everybody has their boundaries. So I get where she's coming from, because no one has to put up with whatever you're putting out. You know, if that's not their life path, then they don't have to subscribe to that. You know what I mean? Clayanna, she meets up with Giselle, and Clayanna, she says that Jennifer was like kind of like antagonizing her when the whole situation had went down. And she's like, she's from the hood and she don't want to have to go back to the hood, and she feels like people have these preconceived notions about her. I feel like it wasn't even that serious. I feel like maybe she feels some type of way about herself, and she's like kind of projecting onto everybody else. Maybe she feels like she's this certain type of person, because even when she, like, people, like, that first meeting is like she's giving us her resume. oh, you know, I went to law school and I did this and I did that, but then I got knocked up, so I couldn't do this anymore. So I had to go on the path to do event coordinator or whatever the hell she says she does. So I'm just kind of like, I feel like she feels as though she has something to prove. Maybe she doesn't feel like she's on their level, but she's creating these defense mechanisms in order to portray herself as a certain way so she can feel up to par with everybody else. But she's kind of like coming off as a mean girl because of the way that she feels about herself. That's what I'm getting based on everything that she said and what she's coming off and giving, you know? And so Christian and Jennifer, they're looking at puppies. They're trying to think about getting one together, which she's a little reluctant because that's not the one that she really wanted. She wants like a little teacup type of doggy. You know, I'm not really a dog person. I think she said teacup or something like that. It started with a T, I know that. But she says she's a little reluctant because she had hers for 17 years, went through everything with her. And also on top of that, here we go again with the word commitment. You know, having a dog, getting a dog with someone else, that's a commitment because it's like now you have to share this responsibility. Y'all break up, it's like, what are we gonna do? You know, are we gonna give the dog away? Am I gonna take ownership? Now, every time I see the dog, I gotta think about you. It's almost like having a baby. You know what I mean? Because, well, at least with a baby, you're gonna give me my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna let you have it. So, but she's like, what are we gonna go puppy dog court? You know, it's like there is no such thing. I mean, it probably is if you really want to like assets or something like that, or a lawsuit or something. But who wants to pay money like to do all of that extra stuff? That's when you got money to blow for real. So I like that Giselle, that when she spoke to Brittany Renner, which is kind of close to her, you know, they're the newbies, I feel like she called her out on her stuff. And I like that. Don't she give you that gorilla voice? Like, did I say that before? I probably said that episode 1 or something. But every time I hear her speak, I think about Gorilla, the artist. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So with her, she told her, like, you know, I feel like she was able to see both sides. And this is the way I am as a friend, as a person. Like, I'll tell my friend, like, you know, I'm totally down for you. I see what happened. But let me tell you, when you did this, I don't know, girl. Like, I feel like you shouldn't have did that. Because that caused her to, you know, I'm going to keep it real with you. Because that's what I would want people to do with me. Just do it in a decent way to where you're not being nasty, where I have to get crazy on you. And that's exactly what I try to do. I try to give whatever I'm saying in a loving type of way, in an empathetic type of way. So anyway, so I felt like that's what she did. She was like, you know, I see where you're coming from, but when you started body shaming each other, like, I don't think that was right. And when you threw the drink, that was definitely messed up. You know what I'm saying? So I like that she was able to do that. And she's like, you know, I'm throwing a party for my fiance. And she just wants to make sure that everything's right. She don't want any drama or anything like that, because Natasha's not about that, which is her fiance. And on top of that, like, Natasha's co-workers, which is the WNBA players, they're gonna be there. So she wasn't trying to have all that and get embarrassed, you know, with, oh yeah, these are my new hood rat friends that are on Basketballwives. Like, no, nobody wants that. So yeah, that was that. Clayanna, she meets with Jennifer, and it initially started off where they were just talking. And when they were talking, she starts saying that Jennifer is irrelevant. Like, she just started going off on Jennifer. And I'm like, here we go again. This is what gets you into trouble, because it wasn't warranted. She starts talking about like how Jennifer is irrelevant and her marriage was like only 2 years. She's like, I was married for a decade. Like, what are you talking about? Like 13 years or whatever amount of years she said, but it was a long time. So it's like, what are you talking about? And Jennifer's just like, what? You know? And then on top of that, she keeps on following Jennifer. When Jennifer decides, you know what, I'm not subscribing to this madness, I'm walking away from this drama, you know, she decides to walk away, you know, in graceful Jennifer fashion as she would normally do. And this girl comes following her, holding onto the railing, coming down, so she could keep on bothering her when she's trying to get away from you. Talking about, oh, that shows that she's a coward. She's walking away from the situation. No, she just don't want to deal with you and your bullshit. Like, you're coming at her crazy. Like, she's not an OG. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for people like her, you wouldn't even be able to grace your presence on this show. So you need to put some respect on her name, regardless of anything. Like, you're talking crazy stuff because you feel like she's an easy target, because she is the one that normally people will, go crazy on her, because she's not a fighter. At the end of the day, she speaks up for herself a lot more than she used to. She always spoke up for herself, but I feel like she speaks up even more. But I also feel like she's not a fighter, so she's not going to fight you. She's not the one that's going to yank you up or nothing like that, or throw a drink in your face. So she's a little more classy than that. So this girl comes all up in her face and decides to push her. I'm like, girl, you about to get sued, because one thing about Jennifer, she's not the one for the bullshit. Like, do not put your hands on Jennifer. She has her lawyer on speed dial, okay? She don't play about that. She was like, did this girl just put her hands on me? Oh no. Like, she was ready. She's like, where's my lawyer number? She was ready. Like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you were doing she was doing way too much. Like, I feel like these new girls, well, not Giselle, because I feel like Giselle so far, I don't know, because I've seen some clips in the commercial, but I feel like Giselle so far has been the calmest, most chill one out of the newbies. The rest of the newbies, I feel like they try to prove something, like they trying to test the OGs, because they trying to get themselves a secure spot for next season or something like that. Because, if you're boring, you're not going to be on next season. You'll get phased out. But I feel like they trying to do whatever just so they can be on there. Because it's like, dude, like, so far you haven't even been interested. Like, what is your storyline? All we see you doing right now is being, like, nasty. And it's just unwarranted. That's the thing. Like, if it was a reason, like, it would be okay. But I feel like it's like, no, what are you doing? So Evelyn, she goes out on a date with her man or whatever, and he tells her that, well, she tells him that she's not really feeling the whole commitment thing right now, and the whole wedding and all that. And she tells him that she's getting, like, really bad anxiety. So Lavone, I mean, he seems like he definitely listened to everything that she had to say, and you can tell, like, he was just really, just in there, laser focused and everything like that. And she literally breaks down and starts talking about her trauma, her past experience, and, just why she's feeling the way that she's feeling. And I feel like he was empathetic to everything that she was saying. He was understanding, and he validated her experience. But he also said, because she tried to push the limits a little bit, like, what if we just wanted to be together without the paperwork? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that? And he's like, yeah, that's a no for me. Like, we could do this for now. We can pump the brakes, take baby steps, but long term, we gotta be married. He's like, I want something real. And I guess they weren't able to come to some type of understanding or agreement. Something along the lines did happen, because I did see recently that there was an article that was published that said that they were no longer together. That was maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, I guess this was the beginning of the end. So yeah. So anyways, Christian, he meets with the ladies. They grill him a little bit. And something that he said did kind of spark, of course, Vanessa, Miss Home Record Detective, to kind of say, something. The math ain't mathin', baby girl. The math ain't mathin'. Because he said he has a 1-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. So it's like they're not even a year apart. And these are brand new kids. So it's like, what happened to the baby mother? You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's what the question involved is. Like, how did that go about? What is up with that? Where's she at? Y'all really not together? Because that's fresh. recent? You know, is it the same person for both kids? You know, there's so many questions that kind of goes into your mind. So I mean, I probably would have been like, you know, but I mean, it's not my business at the end of the day, so I probably wouldn't care that much. But you know, Vanessa's antenna started going, oh, I gotta see if Jennifer might just be a homewrecker. I gotta lay down the law real quick. She's ready. She was triggered, like she said before, right? So I guess we'll see how that goes down. And Giselle's party for Natasha went really well, so that was pretty good. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the majority of the main events that happened in this particular episode. So we'll see what goes down coming up, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I'll see you guys on the next one. Laters.